Hi, my name is Andrea Williams. I'm the patient educator nutritionist, certified diabetes care and education specialist here at Friend Health. You know, November, in addition to being the start of the holiday season, is National Diabetes Month. And during National Diabetes Month, it has been usual practice at Friend Health that we would have a nice, large Diabetes Month presentation for the community. But because of the way times are now, we're having to change things. So instead, we're just putting out this video with some information to help you to enjoy the holidays, but enjoy them in mind with staying healthy through the holidays. So I'd like to share with you 10 tips on staying healthy through healthy eating, not just if you have diabetes, but also just in general, healthy tips to keep in mind so that you can enjoy the holiday and not have to worry about your health being changed because you've maybe overdone some things. So the first holiday tip I've got for you is think about your weight. Many of us, because of what's happening now, have been inside, maybe not getting out as much as we usually do. We're perhaps eating more of the comfort kinds of foods or looking at food as a comfort as we're stressed and trying to understand the world that's happening around us. We want to try to change some of that so that in the end we're not gaining weight or losing weight by unhealthy eating. Whichever the way you might be heading, if you're not eating because you are stressed out, that's not good. You want to make sure that you're still including nutritious foods in what you're eating so that your body can stay strong and healthy. If you are overeating, then you want to find a plan that can help you to not add on more weight, which could lead to, as we know, more trouble with our health. Whether it be high blood pressure, whether it be that your blood sugar gets out of control, whether it's your cholesterol goes higher, or whether it's just you put on some pounds and then you find out the only thing you can wear after all of this is stretch pants, and that's not what you had in mind. So set some realistic goals about your weight. Maybe through the holiday, the plan should be don't gain weight. Maybe try to maintain the weight you are. So in order to maintain the weight you are, you got to know where you are. So invest in a scale that you might be able to check in with yourself, not every day, but check in with yourself and see maybe once a week where your weight is. And that can help to keep you on track. Set realistic goals for your weight. So maybe you say, well, I might gain a pound or two, but what can I do to make sure it's not more than that? Can I increase my activity? Can I change what I'm eating? And so I've got some more tips to help you with that. If you've already mastered some type of health habits that have been working for you, okay, I'm not going out and running anymore. Well, it's gotten colder and maybe I can't ride my bike anymore. But maybe you found some online YouTube or other type of media, videos from the library where you found a good exercise plan. Maybe it's jazzercising and you're dancing. Maybe it's chair exercises, chair fitness workouts. Those are on YouTube. Whatever you can do to move, even if it's just walking to the music, turn on some good music, walk more. Whatever health habits you've already mastered, meaning you've gotten used to moving, try to keep that up. If you've gotten used to changing how you were eating to improve it, to include, yes, I'm going to say it, more fruits and vegetables, then eat those. Continue those habits through the holiday season. It will help you in the long run. The other thing is start some new traditions. If you've been used to having a typical, for your family, whatever the typical holiday, Thanksgiving or Christmas dinners used to be, maybe change them a bit based on what you can assess as the status of health of your family. If you're realizing, oh boy, my kids have been not moving as much and I see I've had to buy bigger sizes for them recently, if they're gaining weight and you want to try to control it, Start some new traditions. Maybe one of those traditions can be to make sure we add a new vegetable to what we usually cook. Maybe we can alter a recipe, and there's plenty of information about that at myplate.gov, and there's also information online at any of the, for example, American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association. They have recipes there. Maybe you can change some recipes to shave off a few calories here and there. And what about, if we're having pretty decent weather, what about taking a family walk if it's safe to do so? Take a walk after you eat, or maybe do some Wii exercises after you're eating instead of having the time in between where we just sit down and watch TV. Add some exercise. Make some new traditions for your family, for the longevity of your family, for their health. Make non-holiday meals healthier. Now, what does that mean? Well, we've got a few days still before the Thanksgiving dinner occurs, and then we've got a few days before we have Christmas dinner. Think about eating healthier at the meals you have between these times and up until those times. Meaning, make sure, okay, I'm going to try to make sure I'm eating as healthy as I can, because I know once the holidays come, there are going to be foods I want to enjoy more. One day of eating not as healthily may not affect your body as much as several days grazing through and eating unhealthily. So make some decisions around, well, how can I make sure I'm doing as well as I can with making good choices? Let me make sure I do that before the holiday gets there, and then it'll make it easier for you to be able to enjoy the holiday foods that you like. This one, the fifth one, okay, eat like a cow. Well, what does that mean? Think about it. First thing, what do cows eat? They eat grass. It's a vegetable. Not one that we like, but it's a green. So think about making sure you have vegetables in as many meals as you can. And yes, I mean even at breakfast time. There's nothing wrong with having some vegetable at breakfast. Well, why am I on vegetables so much? Because we know, science shows us that the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that we need most often are missed because we're not eating vegetables. And I don't just mean a potato. I mean the leafy greens. I mean the orange, as in carrots, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli and kale. We need to eat more of those. The reds, the beets, the tomatoes. They're low in calories and high in so many good things for our bodies. Young people need them because they're growing and developing. And then even as we're transitioning into older life, all of our nutrient needs change as we are blessed to live, as we become seasoned. So you want to make sure that we're putting in from the best sources, which are the foods we eat, vegetables, fruits. That's most of the time what we're missing. So we want to make sure we get those in. They're lower in calories and lower in fat, and making sure that we're not making them unhealthy by adding too much fat and calories to them. So we want to eat more of those, but also, what do cows do? They chew several times. A lot of the patients that I have been blessed to be able to work with are telling me that, boy, I'm running and doing so many things and busy with home life, and my meals, I grab them and I go. And so what happens? We begin to learn we got to snarf our foods down. We're eating quickly. We're not taking time to chew and enjoy. Make it a point to keep it in your mind that you're going to slow down. You're going to chew your food, enjoy your food, get the flavor out of the food. Make it an experience where it's not just you're inhaling, but you're enjoying the food. Take your time. So eat like a cow in that respect. Another tip that you might want to also consider doing is to rest and digest. As I said, the hustle and bustle of life, the stresses that we're feeling now. We need to understand that in order to properly care for our bodies, we also need to relax. Relaxing also helps our digestion. We don't want to wind up after we eat a meal and okay, I can't move, and now I got indigestion. Why cause those kinds of problems for our bodies? We want to make sure we're eating, but not too much, and we're keeping balance between the different food groups. If you go to that myplate.gov website, or as I said, the American Diabetes Association or the American Heart Association websites, they talk about the picture of a plate, and they show you the portion sizes, the amounts of the different kinds of foods we eat in order to be balanced with the different vitamins and minerals that we need. Another thing, during the holidays, we tend to have very high caloric foods and beverages. That's why we only have them many times during the holidays. We only have them infrequently because they are high calorie. High calorie beverages as well as alcohol containing beverages. Those are ones that are going to easily slip past our lips and add on some pounds. So we want to be mindful of how much we're drinking as well as how much we're eating. Maybe, as I said, if you're planning ahead, if there's some eggnog you like or a special beverage that someone prepares only around the holidays and you want to enjoy it, again, think about cutting back on your higher caloric intake foods, cookies and cakes and pies and high caloric, regular pops, juices, all those. Cut down on that ahead of time so that you can enjoy those beverages during the holiday time. They are not calorie free, so be careful with what you drink. The other thing is just say no. Learn from your body. Listen to your body about when you should push away from the table. Don't fill up your plates to overfilling. There used to be on china plates, there used to be a rim around the plate. I want to say maybe it was about that wide. And then there was a center part inside the plate. And you knew that you fit your food on that inside portion of the plate. Nowadays, they got rid of that rim, and it's like from side to side, you've got room to put food. And what do we do when we have room? We put more food out there. So think about shrinking your plate. You've heard perhaps the recommendation for using a salad plate to put your foods on, to help you to have the visual that I got a plate of food, but you've not overfilled it. So think about that as well. And say no. Listen to your body when it's telling you, perhaps I've had enough. My elastic is kind of at the last bit of stretch there. Say no, and then get up and move around a bit to help with that digestion of that food. So just say no. Trade your calories. Think about that. Trade the calories that perhaps you would have in that extra cookie or brownie at that meal on that day with something else you might like. Maybe you've got cobblers or sweet potato pies, things like that that you know you want to enjoy. But you will also know at that meal you've got some gravy on some potatoes, and you've got macaroni and cheese. And not saying that you don't want all of those things, but consider. Auntie perhaps has sent over, because she's staying socially distanced, but maybe she sent a pie over for you because you're her favorite niece and she likes to make you things like that. Make room on your plate by decreasing some of the other foods that maybe you get those pretty regularly. You don't really miss them as much as you'd miss that once in a year pie or cake or treat. Or it could be that the sweet potatoes are special. So think about trading off calories. And remember, Thanksgiving Day is Thanksgiving Day. Who says you can't start eating Thanksgiving dinner at breakfast? Start eating at breakfast. Many people, unfortunately, I was one of them, I'll admit it. We used to not eat breakfast or lunch, and then we'd go over to my grandmother's or my aunt's or wherever, my mom's, or wherever we were going that particular time, and then we, kill the food. Well, that really wasn't the right thing to do. We really needed to, and science shows this, make sure that we have something to eat in the morning, Make sure we have something to eat about 4 hours later, and then have dinner. That's going to automatically slow down that hunger because you're not starving when you get to the table. So that's going to slow down how much you're loading on your plate as well as how much you might be taking in. So remember, eat the dinner all through the day. Whatever you've got ready, who says you can't have it for breakfast? And spread it out. That's helpful to our bodies as well. Use any hunger reduction strategies that you've heard about. Well, what are hunger reduction strategies? Those include things like making sure you have water to drink before you start eating. Drink some water, drink a glass of water. Okay, we need to make sure also that we're hydrated because the temperature is going down and the heat is up and we're having humidity issues anyway. So make sure you're keeping your body hydrated. Drink some water or have a broth-based soup with the meal before you have the dinner. A broth-based soup is less calorically dense than a cream-based soup. So think about that. You could also make sure you have your salads, lettuce and tomatoes. Again, yes, I'm talking about the veggies again. Make sure you have some more veggies there. That will help also to fill you up so that you can enjoy your meal and hit all those food groups that we know help us to get in all the nutrients that we need. If there are foods that you know that you like that are high fiber foods do include the fruits and vegetables again, but suppose there's other high fiber foods that you like. For example, you're making macaroni and cheese. Well, the regular macaroni noodle, most pasta noodles, unless they say whole wheat or whole rice, whatever the noodle's made out of, then they're very low in fiber. Consider adding fiber to the different foods that you're making already. You can tell from a sweet potato that it's got those fibers in there from all the strings. And some people, they'll whip that up and they'll be on the batter, on the wheels of your mixer, and people take them out. Leave that in there. That's good fiber. That's good for our internal digestive system to keep things moving in and moving out the way they're supposed to. So consider all these tips. Consider moving more. That's one thing that we can all do to help ourselves during this time when we're quarantined, when we're not able to get out and do what we usually do. You can still stay in and move more and still eat healthily and still enjoy each other safely. I wish you happiness and a safe holiday season. Take care.